opportunity in this Mass to celebrate the life of Fausto Tentorio, a priest of the Pine Order and a person who gave his life for God and for the faith. Father Fausto Tentorio was killed on October 17, 2011 in Mindanao in the southern Philippines. He was an Italian missionary priest, but a one who lived in the Philippines for 38 years since about 1975. On that morning, he was shot 3 times in the head, just minutes after celebrating the Mass, and just before he travelled to his bishop's house to meet with the bishop and other clergy of the parish. The killer arrived on a motorbike, fired with 3 shots and left. While it's hard to forget how Father Tentorio died, it's most important to remember how he lived, the humble man who would want us to be celebrating his life, not only mourning for his loss. Father Carl Masper is a priest who knew him well during the years and said one was easily drawn to Father Fox. He was gentle, he was soft-spoken, unobtrusive, and insisted on staying in the background. He initially assisted, when he arrived in the Philippines, with basic Christian communities, but soon decided to work full-time with the indigenous Manobo and Lumad people in the tribe of Filipino apostolate. He wanted to be with the most neglected in terms of government service, and he wanted to reach out the ministrations of the church to those people. He had trained Ilongo staff to set up literacy classes, and one of those members, in fact, was a woman, Jane, who became my wife, and she's here today, knew Father Fausto personally. He also developed farm and other livelihood projects with the people in order to provide the Manobo the skills that they needed to improve their lives, and hundreds, thousands benefited from those projects. He was also with the Manobo people in wanting to stop the encroachment of outsiders on their lands and their ancestral remains, expanding agribusiness farming and large-scale mining on lands that were stolen from the people. He made a choice like Christ. He followed all the way to the arrogant valley of Manobo land. He chose to be on the side of the most abandoned. Father Gaspar said he was fearless. Not once, even in the worst times, did Father Gaspar know fear in his heart. He lived simply in the company of the Manobo, at peace in the land he loved. Father Fausto would have laughed at the idea he was a martyr, but he certainly hasn't given his life. His family in Italy grieves the gentle man that they loved. His nephew Simon, aged 27, is still impressed with the simplicity and the poverty in which he saw that his uncle lived. He was a person who wanted to live exactly like the local person, Simon said, and he was loved for it. His order, the Pine Order, had this to say on his death, drawing strength from the apostolic letter of Pope Benedict, the Holy Father, released on that same day. That letter said, by faith, men and women have consecrated their lives to Christ, leaving all things behind to live obedience, poverty, and chastity with gospel simplicity. Concrete signs of waiting for the Lord who comes without delay. By faith, countless Christians have promoted action for peace and justice so as to put into practice the word of the Lord, who came to proclaim deliverance and a year of favour, Father Fausto, through his life, through his service, through long trips into remote parts of the countryside to spend with the most neglected, has put that sort of life before us. Father Pops would not want the tragedy of his death to overpower the sadness. He would want us to continue his legacy by working for justice and abundant life for all. And that's what he worked for, and if we continue, we keep his spirit alive. We have a petition here. We have a barbecue. These are opportunities for you to assist. If you want further information, we'll be here to give that information. But again, we thank you for this Mass, for remembering Father Pops.